you're connected, the writing's on the wall. But if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall.
Welcome back to Success Mashup Radio, and I've got Steve Meyer here, and he is the founder and CEO of Fedelta Care Solutions. Did I pronounce that right?
You did. Very good.
I thought so. Okay, cool. All right, Fedelta Care Solutions has been they've served more than 3,500 families throughout the Puget Sound, and by delivering comprehensive care services. Established in 2004, Fedelta Care, they've evolved to deliver an industry-leading service model to include home care, nursing care, care management, and senior housing placement services. Steve's going to talk a little about these in a second here. But this continuum of care helps families navigate the care spectrum at a time in which they're really confronted with very real decisions for their loved ones. So, Steve, tell me a little bit about how you got started and what exactly do you guys specialize in?
Okay, great, sure.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on.
You bet. So my background prior to starting Fedelta is I actually was an organizational development consultant. And so what that meant is I worked with a lot of healthcare organizations and helping them to become better organizations. And so after doing that for several years, I decided to do something more meaningful and give back to my community. And that's when I really started to really pay a lot of attention to the baby boom population that was coming of age. And I knew that there were a lot of things that were going to change relative to how care is delivered. And so I wanted to be a part of that. I started the company back in 2004, and we opened our first office over in Bellevue. And we started out as a non-medical home care company, and through the years, we've really grown our services to include things beyond companionship and meal preparation and things like that, to include nursing care as well. So the whole concept behind that was really to provide the services for folks that want to stay at home and age in place and have those services brought to them. Over the years, as I mentioned, we've grown and we've added subsequent services, and so we also do a fair amount of geriatric care management, which is a lot of the advocacy services for seniors that are aging.
Okay. So tell me a little bit. So when somebody is, let's say I'm the son or daughter of a loved one that's aging, how do they kind of know when it's time to either go to an adult family care home or hire somebody like you guys to help them in that transition period? It's kind of, I know it's really confusing. I went through a little bit with my great-grandparents, my dad. So I'm kind of curious, what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So often the family members that are calling into our office are speaking with our family care advocates, and they're at a loss. They don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. What they do know is that mom or dad is starting to show signs of needing help. And we're usually that first call for help. And so we're really about identifying, what the situation is. Are they able to stay at home? Do they want to stay at home? And talking about what home care services could be like if they want to stay at home and have those services brought to them. There's a number of individuals that also prefer not to stay at home. They prefer actually to move to an assisted living environment where they can take advantage of all the social programs that are there, the 3 meals a day, things like that.
Right. I think there's a big difference. A lot of people don't want to do that and then there's the other ones, or once they get there, the whole social side of it. So that's pretty interesting too, because I remember my grandpa did not want to. He wanted to stay at the home. So, okay. So how did you come up with the name Fedelta?
I love telling this story. People ask me all the time, what is a Fedelta? And when I was a young kid, my Italian grandma, who came from Naples, Italy, she often told her adult children, never put me in a nursing home. We Italians take care of each other. And she had taken care of her parents until they passed away. And her parents had lived with them. But my grandma had really acute osteoporosis, and she was really brittle, to the point where she actually did live with a couple of her adult children, but they really couldn't handle her. The osteoporosis was more than they could handle. So ultimately, they end up putting my grandma into a nursing home. And one of the things my grandma shared with my mom and I one evening was there has to be a better way for people such as herself to age in place, because she really wanted to stay at home and age in place. And so I thought that was profound, and I was a young kid about to go off to college, not really knowing what that meant. But when I started Fedelta, I really started Fedelta out of a tribute to my grandma. And so the name itself is actually Italian, which stands for care and trust.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, very cool. Okay, so what are some of the different types of needs one would request for their parent or their loved one?
Great question. So a lot of times family members might be stopping by mom or dad's house and noticing that their parent might show signs of depression. They might notice that they're not taking their medications. They might notice that there's food on the stove that's burnt, probably on the burner a bit too long. So those are some of the signs that the adult children usually notice and observe when they're going to visit mom and dad, and that usually results in a call to Fedelta.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So what are some of the kind of the problems or solutions that you guys kind of help people, or what kind of some of the problems you see out there that people are having that they need you, or maybe when people are trying to make a decision when it comes to figuring out what to do?
Right. Oftentimes the adult child is usually the individual that's calling our office, and they're distressed. They're trying to figure this whole thing out. They probably noticed these signs earlier, and they've stepped in as the caregiver, but they're finding that the caregiving responsibilities have become too much, oftentimes because they have their own families. The adult children have their own families that they're caring for, and now they have mom or dad or mom and dad to care for. And so they're realizing that they just can't do it all. As much as they want to be that caregiver, they just can't do it all. So that's usually one of the reasons for the first call of help.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make when it comes to trying to decide, or trying to maybe do it all themselves, or maybe somebody that you guys have seen, you've done an interview with somebody, because I could just see somebody, I want to save the money, I mean, I can handle it, or when it comes to maybe a better question is when it comes to somebody, how do you know who to find? I mean, because I know there's a lot of people out there that they think, oh, this is a great, easy business to start. I can start an adult family care home, or I can start a home care services, and they just think about the whole, they just use a calculator, running the numbers.
Right.
I can make a lot of money,
Yeah.
And then they realize, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you?
Yeah. A lot of people will try and do it on their own, and oftentimes what we see are you may have a couple, and one spouse is taking care of the other spouse, and they are literally providing care to the spouse on a 24-hour basis. And it really compromises the healthier spouse's lifestyle, and it creates hardship and oftentimes results in illness. In fact, there's many statistics out there that show that the person that is providing the care is actually one of the first people to end up hospitalized because they're burning themselves out. So family members, as much as they want to do it on their own, they try, and some are successful and some are not. With our agency, we're certified by the Washington Department of Health as a home care agency and a home health agency. And so what that means is that we can provide the full spectrum of services, anywhere from home care services on up to skilled nursing care in the home.
Gotcha. Okay. And I see you guys also have a disease management program.
We do.
What's a disease management program?
We do. Fedelta's very unique in the sense that we're not like most home care companies that are out there. We're very different in the sense that we have professional nurses on staff, and they're trained on how to go out and conduct assessments, mental, physical, psychosocial evaluations. They're trained on how to develop the care plans, and they work with the families to educate them about the disease. So an example might be a diabetes management program, or Parkinson's management, or Alzheimer's management. So having that deep knowledge within our organization provides a lot of peace of mind for families, knowing that we're there caring for their loved ones in a very efficient and professional manner.
Gotcha. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so tell me, what is kind of what is unique about Fedelta Care Solutions? I mean, you guys already have a pretty unique business, but what I mean, tell me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about before the show about what you guys do, and it's pretty cool. So, I mean, tell me a little bit about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're really proud of what we've built at Fedelta over the last 9 years. We're actually the only company out there in the Puget Sound area that provides a full continuum of services. And by that, I mean we have a lot of people that will start with us, and they'll want companionship services, so someone to take them shopping or take them to lunch, play some games, things like that. But the great thing about our model is that once you're working with Fedelta, you can stay with us through the continuum. So if you start to become incontinent, we can provide incontinence assistance. If you start to need assistance with your medications, we can provide medication assistance. Need help with a bath or showering or grooming, we can do that as well. And then if it gets to a point where they develop Alzheimer's, for example, we can help kind of manage, help the family manage through that. And then there are instances where individuals may have Alzheimer's, and their memory is not as good as it was. And so families are really desiring that their parents maybe transition to a memory care unit within assisted living community. So we have advisors on staff that can make those transitions for them as well. So it's this whole continuum that really speaks to the needs of the families.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell me, how do people get a hold of you if they're interested, and how do they find Fedelta?
Yeah. Well, we'd love to help out. They can visit our website at www.fedeltacaresolutions.com, and that's FEDELTA caresolutions.com. Otherwise, you can contact us at area code 206-362-2366. Once again, it's 206-362-2366.
All right, very cool. Definitely, if you've got an elderly, loved one, and you don't know what to do yet, you're trying to make a decision, I definitely recommend calling them, going to their website, FedeltaCareSolutions.com. We're going to have to take a break now. We're running out of time, so we're going to be back with Ben John of Balance Body Works. All right, Steve, thanks a lot, and we'll be back in a minute with Success Mashup Radio.